Hey, we are waiting for the Modelo.
We're not waiting for it.
Mr. Waiter,
Hey.
please.
Eddie,
Yes, I'm calling you out. We're waiting for the Modelo before we start.
If you want the truth to come out,
We are waiting.
have Modelo.
that really established me as an alcoholic, and I don't like it. But I'm in.
Understand this is Drink Champs and the whole Crazy Hood crew. So we need Modelo on deck
I
right
still think
now
you guys should sit back here, Crazy Hood.
before
everybody
we
from Crazy
start.
Hood here. Look at these nerds.
That is the rule.
Eddie, sit on his shoulders.
Not on my shoulders.
Boris,
You're shorter than me. He can sit.
no. Boris, get on Drink Champ Sports Dream Big Edition shoulders
Yeah.
over here.
Look at all these guys hiding back here.
Oh, you're drinking water?
I got my throat hurts.
Right.
Man, she called you out, dog.
She did.
You would never believe I just met her 17 minutes ago. Holy moly. No, you're awesome. I'd put you in my gang any
Hey,
day.
you ain't
Excuse me, waiter. We're waiting on you. You're holding up the panel.
I think he just
You
flipped
can
to
start the
a
panel. I don't.
Your tip is dwindling. Your tip is dwindling from 20% to 18% the longer you
Went down to
take.
6.
I hope you don't order food after that. Because
I will order. Oh
Te
Lord.
jodiste
I
after
will
that.
order some chicken wings
No,
or
he's
whatever.
gonna-
Hakatuka,
We gonna get some chicken wings and. Are we wait? Where's my waiter?
Where you going?
Are you gonna scoot her over?
Chop chop.
Yeah, look at this guy with all the legroom in the world.
What are you talking about?
What do you think, you're in
man?
first class, bro?
Oh, this motherfucker.
Oh, he's trying to be all okay. No legs
He
touching.
thinks
No
he's in
knees
business
touching.
class on American Airlines right now. He's about to lay down.
Before we start, I like to make a disclaimer. We are not endorsing this Sincoro liquor right
But it
here.
tastes great.
But it tastes great. I just want to say
No
that.
endorsements.
If that's the case, put it in front of you.
Okay, I was
I'm
about to
messing
say
around.
this was really good, and
It looks like an award.
it does look like an award. Oh, there we go. We got it. Hey! Cheers! Clap for everyone.
You know you just threw
Rum and
it.
Coke is for someone old school. I don't know who that is.
Who's the old
I thought
school
that shit was
Rum and
person?
Coke. Who got the rum and Coke? Oh, you got the rum and Coke. All right.
No, he wants
I'm
a
gonna put
Roman
this- I'm gonna
Coke.
put this to the
He
side.
wants a Roman Coke.
The fucking bodyguard.
Roman Coke?
I'm gonna put it to the side. All right. We are ready. Everybody got their drink?
Yeah.
We got
We
to-
good?
Sorry,
we
we don't get out much. Sorry about this, everybody. I got 2 little kids at the house, so I'm acting crazy right now.
Not out.
All right, y'all. Thank you, everyone, for joining. But
Thank you.
most importantly, I would like to thank this crew right here, this dope crew from all of Crazy Hood Productions, to be here and to share some gems on their journey with podcasts, with film production, the whole shebang. Like, they got it going on. They built an empire and a conglomerate. I don't want to mess nobody's introduction up, so I'd rather them do their formal introduction, each, person by person. So please,
No, we'll start with Ireland.
introduce you. You all right?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that, everybody. My name's Orlando, a.k.a. Landy Lakes from Crazy Hood.
Talk about your other production company.
Oh,
Name
sorry.
your other production company.
Plug it.
I also own the Red Eye District. I'm the producer of Grumpy OGs, Splits and Giggles, and a couple of other podcasts that we put out there. So it's a really great time.
That's dope, man. Nice to meet you, brother.
Right.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming, sir.
My name is DJ EFN, Drink Champs, Crazy Hood Productions, and that's who I am.
That's all you are?
That's who I am, I said.
Oh, okay. They call me Heckler, a.k.a. Hannibal Heckler. I'm one of the hosts from Grumpy OG podcast. I've been in Crazy Hood. We've all been together 30 years, so basically we started Crazy Hood, and now I'm in Grumpy OGs.
What's going on, everybody? I want to give a shout out to Miami Web Fest for having us here. We get a lot of invites to a lot of places, but we all don't show up at the same time. So this is actually
What is your name?
this kind of dope for us. So what makes us genuine is that we
What is your
authentic and we be
name?
real, right? My name
Ezekiel.
fuck you, Ezekiel.
But what is your name?
My name is Paul. I'm Drink Chance Sports. I'm Dream Big Podcast.
That's what we're trying to get.
And we Crazy Hoods.
Thank you.
Thank
Next
you.
person. Thanks.
Save us the sermon.
Shout out to Brian, Laverne, and Nina for this.
Word.
Laverne and Nina, myself. Sorry. You know.
What is your name, Ezekiel?
Fuck you, Ezekiel.
My name is Drain. I'm a photographer.
He's way more than that.
Yeah, for Drink Champs, and yeah, that's it. Drain Flicks.
Drain Flicks.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
You okay?
He got shy. He got shy.
First
We'll get
time
him
in
back.
front
We'll
of
get him back.
people.
He's still drinking, so you're good.
He's also
more
our
sips,
backup
he's right
dancer, backup singer, producer,
He does a mean
rapper.
kid play dance.
He's illmatic.
And quick backstory,
Backup dancer?
we've been doing this since we was 16 years old, all of us. So
And he's
it's just-
single, ladies.
It's just fun.
He's single.
And he's very tall.
We'll give you the reasons why in a little bit.
We already know where this is going. Whoa.
Damn, she went.
If you
7
must
and a
know. 12 and a half, if you must know.
7.5 in girls.
You know what they say when they got big shoes, that means they got big socks.
He's wearing a monster hat.
He's a monster. He's a monster.
Okay, let me take control of this. This is going
He's a
way
monster.
left field right
Drain the
now.
monster.
So, as the moderator, I don't know if I introduced myself.
He's a monster.
My name is Nina Harrison, and I'm an attorney.
Sorry.
I'm an attorney with Viacom CBS, and also doing some sports and activation marketing. And yes, I'm very pleased to have everyone here on here acting a fool.
Thank you
But
for
this
having
is
us.
their panel. You know what I mean? It's not about me. This is their panel.
Yeah, we're testing
And,
out comedy.
about you
Stand up
two.
right now.
This is all them. This is all them.
It's about you two.
But
But now you can see why we're a show.
exactly, you can see why I brought them on here. So basically, I just want to pitch some questions out there and let y'all take control. EFN. I'm designating you as the star right now amongst everybody. No disrespect.
He
But
humbly
he
is.
humbly,
Y'all better treat me that way,
humbly.
goddammit.
Drink to that, drink to that. Yeah.
Shout out to Drink Champs.
Shout out.
Drink chaps. So tell me, like, at what point did you realize that like hip hop was like, the next generation and would take control over business and like just be the forefront of everything?
I mean, I don't think I thought of it like that in
Yeah.
those terms, but I mean, I was a kid. I was living and breathing hip hop without knowing it.
Yeah.
I always loved all kinds of music. And so when rap music was coming in, because, we didn't know it was a greater culture called hip hop. We was just little kids listening to rap music. And then it just spoke to me. And I realized as I was getting older that this is the music of my generation.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be a fan of it. Like, I wanted to just be totally invested. Because I was into music so much that I love to see, like, the different generations have their own music,
Yeah.
for them, So I was like, man, this is us. And it's happening right now in my lifetime. I want to get in on it as a fan purely at that point. And then as I'm in high school and I'm about to graduate and everybody's thinking about maybe they're going to go to college or do this or do that, I'm like, this is all I know. This is what I love and breathe, and I live it. And I told my boys, like, yo, I want to try and do this. I didn't know what we were gonna do, but I said I want to try and pursue this at the very least to put our city on the map, hip hop wise. And that was the original intent and goal to do that for the city.
That's dope. So, so tell me more about the whole Crazy Hood Productions and CEO. You created all that. Everybody here on the panel is under that umbrella.
Right.
How does and this is a question for everybody. Like, how do you kind of shine within that conglomerate of Crazy Hood Productions? Representing each of your brands. How do you shine in all of
Well,
that?
I'll start and I'll let everybody kind of give their own. But when we started the company, we started in 1993. We graduated high school in 1993. We're all high school friends. Well, we
I
didn't all
graduated in
graduate.
94.
He's 1 year younger.
Sorry. I'm the
So
youngest.
that's why you see us act the way we act, because we maintain our youth by being around each other, because we haven't left that mind frame of
You're still
being
in high school.
together, which is
Yeah.
what keeps our creative juices flowing. You know what I'm saying? So,
totally.
we quickly understood, we had those young aspirations, like, yo, we're gonna make an album, we're gonna go platinum, and that's it. We out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening. That didn't
No,
happen.
it didn't happen at all.
So we started
We
to
went double wood.
learn quickly that we needed to pivot, and individually as a crew, if we were going to survive as a brand, as a crew, everybody needed to be their own business. Everybody, whether it was music related or not.
Yeah.
Right.
we all needed to survive so that we wouldn't all just like go apart.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And because we saw all of the crews that were around us falling apart left and right. You know, breaking up because life happened. You know, they had kids or.
But even way before that, if I can interject for a second, so we all went to high school together. This is the crazy thing. You don't know anybody who's been in high school, 11 people strong, 30 years, and they're still friends. Nobody. Everywhere we go, we see one person. They're like, "You guys are still together?" I mean, they freak out.
That's
Trust
rare.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super rare. Trust me. And these are not my friends. These are my brothers. Trust me. But when we started, we were in 3 different crews. We didn't even we all knew each other. No one hung out with each other. And
we hung out.
No. I'm talking about as music wise. This is not music. This is just 3 different cliques that just were friends, but nothing was music. One day he comes out of the woodworks and says, I want to start a production company, right? This is 93 here. This is when the illest MCs, this is the illest hip hop era. Illest era of hip hop.
So our generation.
Right.
This is the illest era of hip hop. Is a fact. I don't care what anyone says. If you don't know, you can Google it. There's no MCs like there was in the 90s. Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. I asked him what's the name of the production company, right? He goes, we're gonna call it Crazy Hood Production. We're from Kendall, right? Listen, hold on. No, this is a little funny. I don't care because I'm from Chicago originally. He's from LA. He's from Jersey. We're all from. No one was born in
Jamaica,
Miami.
England.
Jamaican, England, for all you ladies.
More info.
What was I?
Back then we got Brazil, Peru, Haiti.
LA.
They're all here. We represent the whole.
Eddie Giggs is from Queens, New York.
And then we got someone from Queens back there.
It's not his fault.
Right, it's not his fault, people. His parents moved there. So since we all met in high school and we're all from different places, we all kind of had like the same vibe. So when he says he wants to do Crazy Productions, I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was a little funny. I'm like, Crazy Hood Productions doesn't really, to me, it didn't ring well. I just thought it was a little like he was reaching. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt.
It was hood.
No joke. That's just how I felt.
I remember your look.
I was like, what do you mean Crazy Productions? But then it just dawned on me. But man, it is so crazy because we took 3 different crews, put them together, and then our rap group was called The Alliance because it was an alliance of 3 groups. But Crazy Hood, he is the brains of it all. He started it all. He put us all together. It's pretty much like the RZA of Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? He knew who to bring in. You know what I mean? So I thought it was pretty dope because I was the MC of it. That's why he asked me to be in it. He was another MC. He was the producer and an MC and a backup dancer. And, you know, we had so many different things to bring in. It was awesome. And he was a DJ, too, at first. He's real humble about this. DJ EFN. This is the man. He's Miami Mixtape King. He's the man. He's real humble. He's not rich, but he's real humble. Tell him.
I'm rich in
This was the vice president of CHP, so he got way better stories than me.
Yeah, I got a million stories, but Nina, continue, please. Where we at?
Well, you were supposed to say you're part of what you were doing in CHP.
Oh,
Yeah.
I apologize. I had a Michael Jordan shot a little while ago.
Throw it on me. Don't just.
Well, I tell you what. The genuine friendship of being hip hop followers and just loving the music and loving the ambiance and loving everybody's unique individualism and what they are as a person brought us in such a format of transparency. There's nothing that we hid from each other. There's everything that we enjoyed about each other, and there's everything that we laughed and joked about each other. People won't know we're friends just because we curse each other out and have that extra love. But that creativity, the way EFN said, those juices of creativity brought out Dream Big Podcast, brought out Drain Flicks, Grumpy OGs, Red Eye District, and of course Drink Champs. Drink Champs obviously catapulted the whole name out there. But if it wasn't for Drink Champs, Crazy Hood Productions would still be on a path of hip hop, entrepreneurialism, and business. So we always had that love. So we all bring something to the table that makes EFN, that brings Heckler, and makes Paul Dream Big Podcast and so much more. Hey, I say, hold on. Let me say this. I say Paul a lot.
Drop it. Make the drop.
I say Paul a lot because that's like the most simplest name in the world, right? But my name is Paul, so I keep it real simple. Drain is my man. When he came from England, we connected on the Source magazine, and we always been friends ever since. But he does more squats than I do. Word.
Big Driz. Give out your phone
But say it
number,
with a
do
British
something.
accent.
Don't be shy.
Give out your IG or something. Shut up.
Okay, Drain is very humble, but he could sing, he could rap, he could produce,
He could
tells
dance.
photographers. No, word up. He can do all of it. And he has done
Paul
it.
is
And,
Asian.
and we have it documented, and we have albums recorded, and he has credits. This guy's great.
And if you want to book him, go to crazyhood.com.
But he's a cancer, and he's moody as fuck sometimes.
You
Moving
emotional.
on.
So that means you
Moving on.
emotional. You emotional.
Yeah, Paul's
you
doing
emotional.
astrology next. That's the
You
next
real.
emotional.
Yes.
Okay.
Palm
All right.
readings after
Well,
this.
okay, Paul. I'm gonna take the mic on this one. You know,
Yes.
I'm glad y'all introduced all yourselves and gave your story. So, you know, now let's give some teachable moments here.
Right, let's do it.
So tell me, for the rest of the crew out here, the creatives, what would you recommend on just your journey on how to build a conglomerate and a brand and with a group of people and what in the team that you need to build, because you can't do this alone.
Right.
You know, so how did that all transform and what's the next, you know, the next steps and what you need to do?
Let's say you got something to say, Orlando.
I just think the most important part of everything is it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's, you know, most people seem to, you know, when they get into a room like this, I think the one most important thing that, you know, with EFN, my whole crew, we learned that you get to know every single person in that room because you don't know who that person is and what they can bring to the table, whether it be now, whether it be 5 years from now. Yep. I think the one good thing about our whole crew is we keep in contact with everyone that we meet, whether we're going to use their help or whether we're not. Because once again, in order for you to find the right platform, in order for you to find the right team, you got to find those who are going to back you. And sometimes you find your biggest backers, your biggest fans are people that you don't even give an opportunity to meet. So, you know, my advice is put yourself out there, man. You can't be shy in this game. If you want to put yourself out there, you want to get a podcast going, you want to do a movie, you want to do anything that has to do with putting yourself on the front line, everyone in that room should know who you are. Everyone in that room, I think EFN put that in us from the very beginning. When he wanted drops in the very beginning, doing his DJ stuff, he made sure that we went to every artist, whether we felt uncomfortable or not. He wanted that drop. If that
What's a drop? What's a drop?
A drop was to give the shout out to the DJ or to introduce their new song onto during the mixtapes. For the
World
mixtapes
premiere, world premiere, world.
So, you know, I think the most important part is, once again, to get to know everyone in your circle. And those outside of it, once again, you're never going to know when you're going to need them. We've ran into people that we've known for, and I think this is another good thing about our team, we know almost everyone in the industry. We don't go and ask for handouts. We don't go and knock on that door and say, hey, I need this. Those people happen to notice what we're doing and know that they can fit that piece, and they come and join us. And I think that's what everybody needs, to be able to build the right team by putting yourself out there, because you never know who's gonna end up actually doing something for you.
To add on to that, it's more like they respect the business sense that we have as individuals. We're not necessarily all from like the big markets in the business, but coming out of Kendall, you know, we're all not from Miami or Kendall individually, except for Charlie Skins and Michael Garcia. That's part of the crew. But they respect the business mindset. They respect the fact that we put ourselves in the mix. We're heavy Latino based, obviously, you can see that. So we're in a lot of places that's not that back in the 90s. And they respect the not giving up. They respect the persistence. They respect the consistency of the mixtapes, the albums. So we've always been in a business mindset that proves we're not going to go away. So they respect that. Then they want to, collaborate. And then EFN's always been the face. So they respect his mindset, his brain. And then why are you going to have crazy dudes like us follow one individual? We all respect the hustle and we all respect each other, even though we joke a lot. So they just come all together. Back to what Orlando was saying.
Something that I could say that's worked for us. Like early on, when we came on the scene, we were young men in the hip hop industry trying to make a name for ourselves. It was very aggressive. The industry is very aggressive. So we came with this macho stuff, and we were young dudes. So it's almost like street macho stuff going on.
Right.
And as we got older and became adults, and life hit, and bills and all this stuff, you quickly get humbled, because when you're young, nothing phases you. You hit the streets
you're
and
invincible.
you're invincible. When we got humbled by life, which life will humble you no matter what.
100%.
What I've learned that works for me for brand building and for doing anything, and I think this could go for anything you want to do, is these two things: polite persistence. Because one thing I started to do is I knew quickly we didn't know anybody. We came from not knowing anybody in the industry. So we would go to like music conferences, wherever we had an opportunity to meet people in the music industry. We went there and we linked with them. And being at that time a DJ, people wanted to link with me because they needed DJs in every market. So I kind of like was able to connect with people. So I had that network, but then I started to provide myself as someone that could be a servant to these people. But then when I needed them, I wasn't gonna just be a servant. I'm gonna do you favors. I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna need a favor from you. And oftentimes, you know, the industry at large, especially Miami at that time, a lot of stuff's going on in New York and the bigger cities. They just looking at us like, whatever, dude. Like, you just play our records.
Booty music.
So I just started to
Luke.
where otherwise I might have been a little bit aggressive and been upset and been like, nah, you need to do this shit. I started to say, okay, let me just be persistent. Like, I'm gonna be aggressive about doing things, getting people. I'm gonna be consistent about it, and it's polite persistence. Like, I'm gonna be cool. I'm not gonna take it personal because I know everybody's busy. Everybody got different things going on, but I'm gonna still be that thorn in your leg until you tell me no.
Everything is an opportunity.
And so
everything is
what happens is you kind of create, if you're polite and persistent, in my experience at least, people learn to respect that because they're like, when finally it comes around to the point where they're like, man, there's that dude that he's been hella cool. He hasn't been tripping on me. Yeah, man, let me work this dude already. You know, it'd be that one time you finally hit him up, they'll be like, yeah, man, this guy, he keeps hitting me up. Let me give him that opportunity. And that's what's worked for me, and that's what's worked for me in terms of brand building, creating opportunities that weren't there originally.
A long time ago, we're a little older. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, this is the
I
truth.
dyed my beard white.
Age is relative.
He dyed it white.
Relative.
That's not gray hairs. He dyed it
it's
white.
a part of the brand.
Right. I don't know why he likes that. Anyway, a good story to go along with what he just said is, and I'm sure everyone in this room knows who Pitbull is. When Pitbull was
Mr. 305
Listen,
International.
when it comes to persistence, he has to get the award. Okay.
Yeah.
He came to EFN. I couldn't even tell you how many times with a new song or just a freestyle. Y'all want to get on your mixtape? I want to get on your mixtape. He was like, yeah, okay. It's not.
It wasn't that fast,
It's not because he was a jerk. Because it wasn't good. Just wasn't good. But he kept coming back and back and back and back. And there's one day he came. It sounded really good. He was like, you know what? I'm putting this on my mixtape. And I was like, holy shit. I was surprised. You understand? Because I already know why. I understood why he wasn't doing it in the beginning. But persistence is the key. And and listen, like he said, you need tough skin also in this business. Don't be scared to hear no. Law of averages. I promise you. Out of 20 people you speak to, only one person. Out of 50 people you speak to, one person is gonna say yes. So look for 49 no's, and you'll be fine. Do you understand?
Facts.
Just
Go out there and say, this person's going to say no to me, and that person will say yes. Then you're going to say yes, you're going to say yes. Then you're going to have 10 yeses because your attitude it's so contagious. You understand? Smiling, all that is so contagious. When you're pleasant, when you're nice, when you're calm. Like what you were saying. You're persistent, but be calm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, listen, I really want this. But in your head, you're like, F you, but you just don't let them know that. You understand? But you just play it cool.
No, but you can't even, you got to start to teach your mind to not take it personal.
No,
because everybody's got their own life. Like you might think this one dude is an executive. He's got it made. He's got millions. In your mind, like, oh man, this guy's not helping me.
Right.
That guy might have a sister that's got a disease that's got problems in the hospital.
Right.
He might have some debt that you don't know about. Like, you don't know everybody's individual life.
We're all human.
So I'm saying, like,
everyone
you don't
has
know.
problems.
So
All
when you
human.
decide, I'm not gonna take it personal.
No.
Like, I don't know what that person's going through. I'm just gonna be like, cool, man, no problem. Next time.
Right.
When people identify, they see that this person, when you come around them and when you reach out, you're positive. That's infectious.
Yes.
Being positive. And trust me, we don't come from a place where we wanted to be all the way positive.
No.
Like, we were like, no, fuck you, man.
We suck.
We suck.
I still say that sometimes.
We sucked when we were
Like,
younger.
who are these little Chicos come through?
This is why we sucked when we were younger. Because we acted like we didn't need anybody's help.
Right.
We have ran through anyone you can think of in hip hop now, from Rick Ross to Flo Rida to Pitbull to anyone you can think of, have all been through our studio. I kid you not. Before they were rich. I kid you not. I kid you not. And the day that maybe we could have did a collab or something, we're like, we good. And then next day, Rick Ross is, you know where he was. Right. So this is what this.
We never took
sucked
pictures
at
with
that.
anybody back in the
Nothing.
day. We would have had everybody's picture.
Nothing.
IG wasn't back then though. IG and all that.
No,
but documentation was.
I
We didn't
think
do
that
nothing.
we were more.
You know what I'm saying? I walk in the studio
In the
one day.
moment. You was in the moment.
I
Yeah,
walk
man.
into our little studio in Kendall in a little warehouse. It's my day to record. It's a Wednesday. You know how we do. I walk in. Who's sitting on the couch? KRS-One.
What?
And you can't tell him to move. It doesn't work.
I
that
had to
way.
leave the room because I shit my pants right there. And I said, oh my God. And he was like, he's telling me, oh, you mind if I record? Do I mind? I'm out, man. I just walked out. Like, this is real shit. Like, we seen them all, man. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be
Damn, that's real. I forgot about that.
homie.
We
So
got lucky.
outside,
I wrote that in my diary.
So outside all the music side.
Yeah.
Let's transition over into the film side,
Right.
you know, because I'm
Yes.
told y'all got this whole Crazy Hood Productions and the Coming
Film
Home
Academy, right.
series. Please tell everyone about your whole Coming Home series because I hear it's real dope. Y'all go
Real
from
dope.
country to country. Tell us what the whole aspect of it is and the purpose behind
Sure.
that.
So a little bit before we get into that part, I want to just explain something that, like I said early on, we understood that we wasn't gonna go platinum and make $1 million, and the whole crew was gonna be paid these
Right.
mansions. So we're all as individuals learning to pivot
Yeah.
and figure it out, but keep the crew together.
Right.
Right.
And so pivoting was always the thing, like, create a record label, create a marketing company, open up a store. Like, we're just pivoting constantly. And film was one of those things that I never thought I was going to be a filmmaker at all. I never thought. And it happened organically because what happened is I'm Cuban American, and growing up Cuban American, if anybody's from Miami and understands the Cuban culture in Miami,
Oh yes, I'm Cuban
they're
American.
very anti anything with the island of Cuba, like the communism and all that stuff. My family left the communism, so like you never go there. So I grew up like you never go to Cuba.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I was like, man, I want to go to Cuba, man. I want to see my parents' homeland. And so I decided finally I'm gonna go, and I was like, I'm gonna film this experience. And then I heard from a homie that there's a crazy hip hop scene in Cuba. So I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I gotta film that. So then we go out there and we film this experience and come back, and it's an amateur film. We put it together and we screen it, and it gets rave reviews, and people thought it was amazing. And I was a big fan at the time, and still am. Rest in peace to Anthony Bourdain, who had a travel series. And I love the way Anthony Bourdain, like a lot of people use his name, but what I loved about Anthony Bourdain is his expertise was food. He was a chef. When he traveled to a country, it wasn't a food show.
Right.
Right.
It was
He
culture.
used food
Yeah.
as the conduit
As an
of conversation to find
Mhm.
out about what's going on in this country.
Right.
It wasn't necessarily about him. It wasn't about the food. It was about the country. But he used the food to get in everybody, like to have everybody open up. So I was like, man, we could do that with hip hop, because I know hip hop is everywhere. It's everywhere.
Everywhere.
So I'm
You're
like,
right.
I could go to a country, connect with the hip hop scene there, and learn about the country through the hip hop scene. And so because we did the Cuba film and it was successful, it got picked up by Revolt TV the year they launched. They licensed. It was the first original content license they
dope.
did in 2013,
That's dope.
which for me as a first-time filmmaker was crazy.
That's
Yes.
dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah.
Thank you. Shout out to Michael
Cheers to
Garcia.
that.
I was like, no water.
And shout out to Mike Garcia and Ramon Dukes.
Yes,
For
sir.
real.
So that launched Crazy Old Film Academy, which a little bit before that we were already diving in that with visual mixtape stuff that we were doing. And so, we went to Peru after that, and which my homie Boris Beats in the Hood, he's right there. He's one of our producers. He's Peruvian. We went to Peru. We went to Haiti. My homie Rich, he's Haitian. He's back there. Dro,
Yep.
raise your hand. We went to we went to Haiti,
You
man.
need to watch that movie. You're gonna really love it. Trust me.
This is a sidebar, and I'll give it back to EFN. But that Haitian film was presented in what school and what college that when they gave us, it was great. They did it for a cultural class.
They gave us a school?
Yeah,
They didn't give us
Yeah.
a school. No,
he didn't give us a school. It was they played it in a
school, but when they
in a
didn't give
school.
us the school, what are you talking about?
Then take away Winnick. They still played it in the school as far as a Haitian movie with hip hop, and I always thought it was dope. All right, I'll give it back. Fuck you.
So after Haiti, we went to Vietnam. My father, he's a Vietnam veteran Marine. He fought in the war in Vietnam. Never in a million years did I think I would ever go to Vietnam. you know, and I went to the battlefield where my dad fought in Vietnam.
Wow.
So that was amazing.
Wow.
Through hip hop, mind you. All this
Wow.
to me is like, this is all happening because of hip hop.
Of hip hop. Wow.
You know,
Wow.
and then we went to Colombia with Dream Big Sports. He took, you know, he was the part of Colombia that we went to Colombia, and then we just finished up South Africa. Coming home South. They're all called Coming Home, by the way.
Right.
Coming home Cuba, coming home Peru, coming home Haiti, coming home South Africa,
Yeah.
coming home Vietnam, coming home
And
South
the
Africa.
catchphrase that we created, because the first one was Coming Home for me, and it was not it was just a one-off.
Yeah, because you went to Cuba first,
Right,
so that was like
but
you
when
coming home
when
to
I
that.
decided to expand it and make it a series, the catchphrase I created is wherever I find hip hop, I find home,
Right.
and that's
And that's one thing I noticed. Like hip hop is so appreciated overseas,
Everywhere.
in every other country. Like they're still listening to '90s hip hop over.
They
in
hate what we're
Japan.
doing now.
Right?
They hate what we're
They're
doing
still
now.
rocking even the hip hop, the FUBU, the song.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah,
still
they're
they're
still
still
the
in that '90s
They're the
hip
elements of
hop
it. Yeah.
in overseas. Like they
Yeah, yeah.
still respect the
Lyric.
elements
It's
of hip hop.
more lyrical
right now.
also.
Yes.
Even though it's another language, it's more lyrical.
Yes, totally. Yeah, that's
them dudes
what's up.
over them in Cuba, the dudes in Haiti. I didn't even get to go to Haiti. When I saw the movie, well,
Yeah.
everyone is super lyrical, and they hate what we're doing over here now.
Right?
This
It's
little
different.
Mickey Mouse, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. You know
It's
what I'm
just
saying?
different, yeah.
Yeah, it's bubblegum rap. They don't like that.
Mainstream. Dr.
Not
Seuss
mainstream.
rap.
I
I
call
call
it-
it Dr. Seuss rap.
Oh, it ain't. That's fine too. But it ain't main. I don't want to call it mainstream though. You understand? This is
No,
What would you call it?
No, it's
It's-
not that though.
First of all, I don't, and this is no diss.
Right.
And I have I like a lot of the music out right now. This has nothing to do with age.
No.
You understand?
Right.
I just come from an era where it's a little more lyrical. You know what I'm saying? And they appreciate
I'm trapped
that more.
in the '90s too.
But what I hate is when you watch one of these new artists have an interview, they say, "Well, then I'm not a rapper. I'm just an entertainer." Okay, so that means that you're not in hip hop either. You're just it's a form of rap, but that's not like the elements. So for me, the elements of hip hop, there's like 5 elements of hip hop. They don't have any of those. They don't even have a DJ. They do a live
Yeah.
show and they rap over their music.
Over
They're
their
just
music,
singing
yeah.
along.
Right.
I wish I had.
That's a different panel, by the way.
Yeah, it's a
That is
different-
a whole different, that's a whole
But-
different. But going to the whole coming home thing,
Yes.
you get to see
Right.
Internationally
And it's
how
awesome.
how they preserve
Yes.
the essence of
And
hip
my
hop.
man didn't go to the tourist section. Okay? Everywhere he went, he had to make sure that he had someone who knew that hood. It was dangerous everywhere he went. He didn't. You're not gonna find
Everything was
We went
invited.
wherever the culture took
Wherever
us.
the
It wasn't seeking like danger or seeking.
No,
anything
I'm not talking
specific.
about. That's
Yeah.
not what I mean. I'm not even glamorizing that. I'm saying though that you're not gonna find the real hip hop in the tourist section where it's
No,
all everyone
right,
from
no.
Switzerland is visiting. But that's not what we want. That's
You gotta go
we're not
where
looking
there's
for
where
that.
there's grime. In
Yeah.
Europe, it's called grime. It's like what is it, grime that
Correct,
they
right,
call
yeah,
it? They grime.
yeah.
It's not even.
Yeah, I don't want to
hip-hop,
say
it's
that
grime.
hip hop is only in the hood. That's stupid. But you.
But really
It
quick
seems
to
to
what
be,
he was
you know?
saying before, just to put a cap on it, is one thing that's consistent in every film is the artists have told us, you guys don't do hip hop in the States. You guys do in like business.
Wow.
What you do is
That's-
business
that's-
over
That's
there.
embarrassing.
That's not
deep.
hip hop anymore.
It's embarrassing.
And that hurts.
And that's
that hurts.
it's been pretty consistent
hurts.
in every country that they've told us that.
Right.
That hurts because we birthed it. And
Right.
From the Bronx, like we birthed it in Jamaica,
It
all that,
lost,
and
it's
then
lost its touch.
yeah.
It definitely hurts, but we also know it's extremely true.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? And that's one thing that everyone who, once again, grew up with hip hop, there's nothing, we can't deny it. We all know, okay, listen, things have changed dramatically. And, I think the one best part about the Coming Home series and the way that EFN put that all together is he finds a way to still bring everyone from the team to be a personal part of that. When he did Colombia, he took Paul because that's Paul's place of birth.
Hector showed up too.
No, and
Okay.
Hector ended up showing
We're still
up
waiting
there.
for Coming Home Puerto Rico. It's coming.
Oh, we going.
So
So
it's just another way to personalize within the crew, but still keep everyone else knowing that listen, this is
He got to see.
about you
He
as
got
well,
to see
but-
where his parents,
Yeah, that-
where his
to me,
parents
that's just
grew up
deep.
as little kids. He never been to that part, right? How crazy was that for you? How emotional?
Nah,
was that?
Colombia was super intense and emotional.
No, this guy's.
It's
name's
just-
Paul.
it's just everybody, wave your hands in the air. No, I'm just saying. What happened with Colombia was super personal, and that brought a different aspect for me in looking into the movie because
Right.
my parents, okay, I'm not gonna get too crazy with it. It was great to see where they were married, where they came together, where my sister and my brothers went. I never been there before. You know, my dad's parents, both of them died before he was 10. And my mom grew up in an orphanage. She don't know her mom. So I don't have grandparents, aunts, or uncles, right? I'll leave it there. So going back to that neighborhood was like super intense. And then when they saw it, you can believe their reaction to it. They're like, you went where we left. And I went on hip hop and I went on behalf of EFN and my brothers. So that whole coming home Columbia to me, I ain't even got to say no more. That shit is ridiculous.
Like I said, it adds a personal touch, but it still hits everyone. So you know where, like I said, the stuff that he did for that, the way that he was able to add the personal touches, but yet let everyone know, listen, this is about hip hop, this is about music, but it integrated everyone in the crew. And that's why I always appreciated where he went with the Coming Home series and what he continues
real quick,
to
we
do
got to
with it
big
now.
up. So the person that was a part of the original film, the first Coming Home, Michael Garcia, which is an MC that was originally from our, he's not originally, he's from our crew.
Yeah.
He was one of the artists signed to our crew. He went on to become, right now, he's one of the biggest music video, or at least up and coming biggest music video directors.
Yeah.
He's right now doing the
He's in LA
videos
now.
for the Fast and Furious movies,
Dope.
and he's a part of our team as well. Yeah,
Just
That's
won a
dope.
Moon Man.
yeah. He won a VMA as well.
Salute the home
That's
team.
dope.
And I think that's one of the best parts is that each one of us is individually proud of the other person just for what they do on their own.
Right.
And the fact that no matter what we do on our own, we always give props to our team, whether they're a part of it or not. You know, with the Red Eye and the productions that we do, I was actually excited to know that my team is a part of it, even though they don't even have to be there to film.
Right.
We all take pride in each other's projects and we show them off as if they're our own. And I think that's the best part about it is you take pride in what the next person's doing, they're gonna take pride in your shit and show love. That's the one thing that I think that we lack the most is that we show more love for our own stuff than we show for anybody else and expect that love back. But we need to be able to, like we do now, is just that, is each project is individual, but every single part of the team gets accredited through every single thing that we do.
And on that note, because I wanna open up Q&As to the audience. Last question. As far as with the Coming Home project, like what are your next, what are the next steps, and what are your vision and your goal for that as far as getting distribution and putting that out there with other networks and just getting it out there to the world and really getting noticed?
I'm a little weird about like talking about things that I do business wise until they happen.
Right.
But because something exciting has happened as of recently.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out how I could say it, because my thing is like I don't like to just say cool things that are behind the scenes. I like to show you that it's working in real life, and you're saying, yo, that obviously it's because you see it's happening. Mm-hmm. But recently, what I can say is that LL Cool J and Rock the Bells are involved now in Coming Home.
That's a great festival too.
Woo.
It's great.
Woo. Charlie, there you go, Charlie.
Cheers.
Very good.
And if you guys see the logo behind us before you open the Q&A, these Dream Flicks is what he does as far as the photography, landscape, and everything else. Grumpy OGs is a podcast. Drink Champs obviously is Drink Champs. Red Eye District is what Orlando provides with network. Dream Big Podcast Miami is my adventure. Spliff and Giggles is Orlando's
Did you say your adventure?
adult. Spliff and Giggles is an adult podcast. I just throwing that out there. And this is a showcase, a small showcase of what we're doing.
She was like, let's rock. I'm down.
I mean, just in case you're looking at it and not knowing what it is, we're just tying all the ends together. But good.
Great
All
time.
right.
Good intro.
I thank you,
But what's your
everybody, for your
name?
attention.
And that's Paul.
Thank you, Paul, of
Yeah,
Dream
it's only
Big.
4 letters in my name. We got it.
Dream Big and Dream
Drug
Champ
Big
Sports.
Sports.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you
Yes.
so much for
This
that
is true.
disclaimer. With that said,
That's Paul's
oh,
bodyguard in the black shirt right there. By the way, his name is Charlie.
No, Charlie.
Charlie.
With the hat that looks like a helmet, that's him right there.
With the Run DMC glasses.
and
yes,
the goggles
that's
that
him.
can see into the future?
Yes, that's him. He's fresh back from
Again, we're family,
2025.
so we can do this.
Sorry.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah, don't try this out. It never works out good for anybody.
Yes.
no filter, no filter.
So yes, with that said, I like to open questions out. Yes, sir. Yes.
Can we have a mic? To
How you
him?
doing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice chain. You chained up over there.
You saw one chain?
He 5 chains.
That's called chains.
He 5 chains.
Okay.
Those chains are
There we go.
causing
Check,
feedback.
mic check. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Nice to see
What's
you
up,
guys.
brother?
Thanks
What
for
up,
coming
what up?
out. We appreciate you. I'm
Thank
Ian from MATV Media. I just want to ask you a question because you mentioned the history of where you're coming from to now. Me as well, but I want to have your opinion on something. As far as the industry goes in today's world, coming from where you are now, how does technology hurt or help us?
Exactly.
I mean,
Good question.
That's obviously a loaded question because there's so much
Right.
that goes on with technology. Technology is a pro and a con, obviously. I would say the pro is that you don't need a lot of investment as someone who has ideas and is creative to get things started, to do things. There's a lot of technology that's free or inexpensive to get yourself going. The problem is that anybody could get themselves started and get going, so
Right.
it oversaturates everything.
Right. Right.
So now what you have to do is not only can you take advantage of these free and inexpensive technologies to do things, but now you have to put a lot of focus in how do you market and brand yourself to stand apart from the sea of everybody doing it.
It made some things easier and a lot of things a lot harder. And it just, now you have to be a lot more creative in the way that you want to be out. Because once again, like he was saying, everyone's doing it. There's not one person in this room who doesn't know another person who's doing a podcast or trying to create their own show. It's what you do to stand out, how you're delivering it. Once again, that goes back to my beginning comment was, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And take advantage of those moments. You're never going to be able to outbeat it. So you can't beat them, you join them. So you just got to find the best route for yourself. Because I've noticed now doing it so much with the Grumpy OGs and with the Splits and Giggles and having to market those two completely different shows, but to get the same exact response is not easy. And it goes back to, once again, where you have to think of what's the market you're trying to hit and look at those who are already doing it. You know, I think one of the easiest ways that I learned is I would go and watch something that I wanted to put on. I'd watch something that's close to resembles that and see how they marketed it. What are the hashtags they use? What are the age ranges that they went after so that I can use kind of those same techniques and add more to it. You know what I mean? But it's all about, once again, being able to, everything now takes time, man. If you're not willing to put the time into that thing to figure it out, don't even bother. Because most people, all they want to do is make money. Everybody's like, look, I want money.
But the good thing, here's the good thing. Just I don't want to cut you off. Is that we didn't grow up with any
Exactly.
of
We
this.
didn't.
We had to.
We had
you,
to
oh, you
learn
want you want me to hear my song? I gotta fly to New York and I gotta show you my song. I gotta perform it. Oh, I want to be the best MC in my city.
Guy, you acting like we didn't have email?
No, we didn't have it. Email. I'm talking about.
There
when
was
it comes
no
to-
email.
I'm talking about
Yeah,
social
how old
media.
are we, motherfucker?
I'm talking about
Nah, it's
social
real. We're
media,
being honest.
internet. When's the last time that if you wanted to prove who you were,
I know.
you had to go to a club and perform and
Yeah.
show people who you were? Now I can sit in my room in my underwear
And pay the
and I can
DJ.
record whatever the hell I want and put it on YouTube and let everybody in the world see it. Before we can only let everyone in our city see. Here's how the internet changed it. When I was a kid, I had a bunch of garbage pail kids. I thought I was the only kid in the world who
Do you
had
still
them.
have them though? Because
No.
they're worth a lot of money.
I
right
sold
now.
them. We'll talk about that in a second. I thought I was the only kid in the world who had them. Right? Then when the internet comes out, I found out that I'm nobody. I'm nobody. No, everyone in the world has these. You
He
understand what I'm
had
saying?
9 of them.
You thought you
Humble.
right. I am
You are
nobody.
humbled.
I'm a loser. I am
Get past
nobody.
the garbage pail kids.
So now we're in the internet world, and we couldn't do that. We started on 8-track. We started on reel to reel.
Right.
Come on, brother. Now you just record in your room in your PJs. It's all love, and you get 1 million followers, and then you become a superstar. Wasn't that easy when we were? That's what he's trying to
I
get
mean,
at.
it's still
How
not
was
that
But it's
easy
still
now,
not
but
easy. It's still not easy.
It's easier than when we had to do. Is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I kind of disagree. I kind of
I
disagree.
know we had to go personally and show who we were.
I think there's two sides to that coin because back then you had to go to the studio, you had to go do this, but if you went and made the effort, you would stand out because nobody else was doing that. Now
How did you
everybody's
get-
doing it.
How did you get the studio though? You didn't have it in your room with your computer and one little module.
No,
of one
you had to
program
be
on
creative.
Apple.
I mean, this is a little bit of sidetracking, but I'm gonna tell you how we created an album. I said, everybody, sign up for Miami-Dade Community College, take engineering courses because that gives you studio time, and that's
And
how
we
we
use
recorded our
hours.
first album.
No,
it.
that's great.
That's how we recorded our first album.
That's how you use the hours. You know, you got,
Yeah.
Take that to the bank.
yeah, exactly.
But all it takes is a little bit of creativity to get a lot of things done.
Right.
But right now the problem is that is a sea of people doing it, and there's good ones making it, bad ones making it, and everything under the sun making it.
Right.
So you just gotta. The thing, it goes back to consistency.
Right.
Because you still gotta. It's a law of averages. People are gonna give up. As long as you stay consistent and you don't give up because you're like, damn, I ain't get those followers or those likes or those
Right.
comments.
Just keep
But
going.
who gives a fuck? Are you into what you're doing?
Right.
Do it. Just keep
Does
doing
it give you something? Like you gotta gauge yourself as to what you want out of something.
Right.
If it's just money, then you're done already from
You're
the get.
done.
Yeah.
I think the one biggest thing that pushed us the most for most of our projects was pride. We wanted to be proud of something. Whether you were of us or not, we were proud of it. It made us want to do another one and another one and another one. And the more that we were proud of each other, the more that we did. We, believe it or not, I think our biggest fans were ourselves. But there were so many of us.
We would give ourselves one of the things when we completed a project, a music project. We were infamous for this, which is kind of funny. We would create plaques,
Yeah, our own awards.
and
man.
we would have our album release party.
Hey.
The album release party was to
And that meant a big
celebrate
deal.
That,
Like,
we
that
finished,
was-
that we finished the
Yeah.
project, and then we would present ourselves the plaques. Our shit is double wood in the hood, but
Yeah.
we completed a project, and then the people that are there are like, they're getting
And I always had a thank you speech.
But
Thanks,
let me
Al.
tell you,
We bought it ourselves
that.
and handled
Thanks,
it
Al.
ourselves.
What
but
that
it
did
was-
for-
I like to thank my mama and my daddy.
what that did for us. The thing is, the point I think that for anybody else, it doesn't mean you make plaques. You have to figure out ways to keep your morale up, whether it's you, your team, to
Right.
keep that motivation. And that's what I found for ourselves. Like, you know what, man, ain't nobody gonna give us plaques. We're not gonna sell a lot of records, but let's just celebrate that we finished the project. That's big.
You
For
are
some
your
kids with
own
no
parade,
resources,
and
you
that
know?
and that's
Yeah,
one
yeah,
thing
yeah.
that I've
Right.
learned. You are your own parade.
Right.
If you don't celebrate yourselves,
No
no one
way.
else will.
I'll tell you right
you
now,
got to
you-
celebrate
You
yourself.
go to the CHP office and you'll see one of the proudest plaques they have are the ones that were
You give to your
issued
son.
from
Yeah.
our
Oh
own
no,
crew.
that's the proudest.
And
yeah,
when people
I'm
walk
most
in, they're like,
proud
"Yo,
of
that's dope," and we're like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't want to be like, oh, I get that. We made it." But
Yeah.
it's
How
something
many
that,
records you sold?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, that was 0 records
That
sold.
one. We sold that
Believe
one.
it or not, when you see it all lined up and you see that, once again, how much pride we have in ourselves and how much effort we put into putting ourselves into that light is not to say it was what forced others to recognize us, but if you want to be recognized, you got to make yourself stand out.
Yeah.
And, we stand out, we stick out like sore thumbs because, once again, there's 11 of us. When we walk into a room, we demand attention. And it's, we all have our different looks. We all have our own traits of what we bring to this crew. But we all know we're the same fucking person. There's been times where each and every one of us, we were forced to be EFN. Eddie's been EFN DJing at a club one day. Charlie's been EFN negotiating a bit.
You have it? You have it?
I think I've played it off once or twice for my
I don't
own
think
purposes.
I said Eddie to DJ
No,
for me.
I mean, in the sense of where
You just took
we
the job.
put ourselves in that place so that no one will ever miss that next person.
Right.
And like I said, to me, the biggest thing is who's behind you, who's backing you. You know what I mean? Whether it be just yourself, take pride in that shit. Because that's the only other way people are going to look at you like, yo, that's dope.
For real.
The way he speaks about it, the passion in what he does. I've been able to go this far with the Red Eye District and with my team because everybody's like, yo, you don't stop.
Right.
Doesn't matter what fails, there's something new coming on. If something goes down the drain, don't give up. Create a new project. That's all we did. Just keep it
going.
moving.
Keep
Keep
going.
it moving, man.
Yeah,
Move it.
And,
Don't
and
quit.
just really quick, because I know he keeps talking about like our team. Our team does not what everybody needs. Like your team could be your mom, your dad,
That's
your
what I
brother,
mean,
your
individual.
sister,
We just got
your
lucky.
close friend. Like find anybody that's supportive and lean on them and use that energy to fuel your inspiration and keep it moving. And you gotta look wherever you can to
Yeah.
continue, because it's not an easy road. I mean, I can only speak to entertainment and what we're doing and in hip hop and all that. I'm sure every industry is difficult, but it's a very difficult road with ups and downs. It's hard to make money. It's hard to make livable incomes. Like, don't get it twisted.
Right.
most of the people you see these videos that everybody knows already. That ain't what it is. You know
That's
what I'm
all
saying?
fake shit.
So you gotta be able. If you're able to pay your bills doing this, you won.
You good, real good.
You won already.
Yes.
You know. So the whole thing is that you have. What's dope about the creative space is that you think of something, you create it, and you're able to make some kind of money off of it. That's it. That's the dream. That is the dream at the end of the day.
Yeah. I was about to say that. Yeah. I was like, okay.
That's what we do.
Next question. Next.
He said it was-
Wait.
he
But
said
first
it
of all,
was
did
low.
that answer your
He
question?
looks like he got another question.
Oh, you got another one? Wait. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, can we pass it
Can
to
you calm
this
your bodyguard
madam right
down
here?
over here in the back?
Let's share the wealth.
I'm about to take a
Let's
drink
share the
chance baby
wealth.
break
So,
up here right now.
She has a question. So
Yeah, I appreciate that. I know that can trigger an immense amount of conversation, you know, because I go through that too. And people ask all the time, how can they make it in this industry when I know how it was back then where money was coming in easy?
Right.
And now there's so many people in the industry saturated, it's hard to get $100.
Right.
I could get $1,200 in a minute. No problem. No problem. Everywhere I went, $1,200, $5,000. No problem. But now,
Damn, you banking.
Right?
Get your business
back-
card.
Yo, he got the
1,000,
5
5,000,
chains.
10,000.
He got the
No
5
problem.
chains right now. He's wearing
in today's world with all the saturation of the technology,
Right.
it's just washed out. Everybody and their mama in it.
Right.
But that's not a problem. It's how do we work together as a team? Can
Right.
we create? And if we can do that, we can still hold on to something. So I
Of
just
course.
thank you for your attention.
No, thank you. Next question.
Next question. 2 hours on the clock.
I don't really have a question.
2 hours back.
I just want to say I'm very, very proud of you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Because right now, not too many people can do what you guys doing.
Thank you.
So many people, they start something together, then they broke it. It's like
Right.
a competition.
Right.
They want to do their own thing.
Right.
So, just
Right.
wanna say
Thank
I'm
you,
very,
thank you,
And
very
we
thank you.
appreciate you saying that
Yes.
Thank
completely.
you very much.
No problem. And the hip hop right now, my kids, I don't let them listen to hip hop because it's crap.
Right.
Back then,
I really like you now.
So they live in communism.
Right.
Back then,
Right.
hip hop was fun. but
Communism.
Right now,
Yeah.
too much.
Right.
This
Yes.
is true.
We appreciate you.
Thank
And
you.
people
Thank
like
you
Thank you.
all
Thank
it takes
you
is
for the
one.
support.
For me, it takes one person like her to keep me going. All I need is one person. If
Yeah.
one person is inspired by anything we say, we keep moving. That's all. We don't
Yeah.
need a million. I just need one person. That's all
Right.
I need. So that's all. That's super awesome. I appreciate you big time.
More questions?
Yeah,
Any
good
questions?
afternoon, guys. I
What's
just
up,
wanna say-
brother?
Or statements?
What's going on?
I just want to say you guys are awesome. You guys are doing a great thing in the
Thank you.
community, especially for the hip hop. Because back in the 90s was the best.
Yes.
Hell
Golden
yeah.
I told
era.
you.
It's the
I
golden
told you.
era.
It
It's
was
the golden.
No
educational.
debate.
Yes.
You heard every syllable, every word
Everything.
from what they were saying, and you bopped your head to it because it had meaning.
Yeah.
The
Correct.
thing about it is that I wanted to ask you guys all, who is your favorite hip hop rapper, 90s
Oh.
rapper,
Easy. Big Daddy
that's many.
Kane.
and why?
Big Daddy Kane was the illest, the smoothest, the nicest, dancing,
but
rapping.
that'd be like, I mean, it'd be 80s bleeding into 90s.
Yeah.
No, but hold on. He came to. Yeah, you're right. But
Red man.
Here's the problem. If it's 90s, it's Prodigy.
Jersey.
Prodigy from Mobb Deep was my favorite.
I
But
say Ice Cube.
and that's his too.
I'm gonna stick.
Prodigy was
with
my
Nas.
favorite from Mobb Deep. But,
I'ma stick with Nas
but
as
here's the
straight
problem
storytelling.
with the 90s rappers. We had
He's unorthodox.
60 different groups. Let's just say, right? 60 different styles.
Yeah.
Now we have 100 groups, 100 same. They all sound the same. That's all I have.
This is why he's grumpy OGs, because he's obviously upset about old
He
versus
was
new.
waiting for that question, by the way.
Bring it back.
He was waiting for
Grumpy
that.
OGs.
Wait, you know why I hate saying he's right, and I will let you. Why I hate when people say that is because remember when we were younger, our parents hated our music.
Yes.
Yes.
And then now I'm telling my kids, see, my kids are, I have kids from 5 to 22, so I know every genre, and I'd be like, your music sucks. But there is a couple I like, but for the majority, when you have 100 artists and 98 of them sound the same, and I say 98 because we have, thank the good Lord, we have J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
You smell me?
That's true. That's true. I was going to ask you the same question. Is like, what artist do you think now reminds you of rap artists in the 90s?
Well, when I first heard Kendrick Lamar, I always had a remembrance of close to a Nas kind of caliber.
Storytelling, because
just-
it's
he's just-
storytelling.
and also just the way
Yeah.
he stacks
Denzel
it.
Curry, who's from
Denzel
Miami.
Curry from
Curry,
Miami
Miami, rep
is
up 305.
ridiculous. From Carol City. If you
Yeah.
don't know, Denzel Curry is ridiculous, and he's from this time. There is a couple of them
I
that
was gonna
shine
say
right now.
Tekashi, so
I'm not
nah,
getting.
nah.
I'm not telling you they all suck.
joking.
I don't like the '98
You ain't talking
majority.
about
I don't like that. But you know those
Take a drink,
dudes.
take
I could probably name 5 that I really.
That's the problem.
He's a Tekashi fan.
I love rainbow hair.
No, we can edit that part
Sorry.
out.
How about Public Enemy?
Public Enemy, my favorite rap group.
Always,
Yeah.
always.
Public Enemy
Period.
NWA inspired me to really want to
My
get
Always.
favorite rap group of all time is Public Enemy. My favorite soloist was Big Daddy Kane. My favorite duo is Outkast.
What?
Hands down.
All day. All
Hands
day.
down. I saw them do a show live. It was an hour and 45 minutes. Their first song had mad energy, right?
Yeah.
45 songs later was the last song, Bombs Over Bad Dag, more energy than the first song. After an hour and 45 minutes on a live band, they're
That's
the best
dope.
ever.
That's
Trust
dope.
me.
I saw them at Coachella in 2014. 20 years. 20 years since they were on stage together.
Well, hold on. I was gonna say something else, but I'm not gonna ask you that question.
Coachella. They was at
about
Coachella
Public
together.
Enemy. I saw them in the AAA arena before it was Miami. It was
Now
Miami
it's
Arena.
FTX. It's
Miami,
FTX.
No, I'm sorry. Miami Arena before it was
It's FTX.
AAA. In Miami Arena, 88, Public Enemy, Run DMC, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, and Stetson Sonic. I was in 6th grade. How my mom let me go there, I do not know. I was with 2 other 6th graders.
She still doesn't know you were
Actually,
there.
she probably doesn't. I took the Metro Rail from Kendall all the way over to the city, yes. And when I got off, I was scared as hell. I walked in. After I heard Public Enemy, I was deaf. I couldn't hear shit. Then Run DMC came on, and my world was over. That's it. It was the best. To this day, I've seen a million concerts. Still my favorite one, 1988.
awesome.
First year that the arena opened, and I'll never forget that.
Awesome.
I still dream about it.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's
trust
how I
me.
feel about Outkast at Coachella.
Outkast is the
No,
best.
I
Outkast
was
is the best.
up front and
Jesus.
personal right there.
The
Like
best.
and it's hard at Coachella because there's a lot of motherfuckers out
Yeah,
there.
but their
And
live show,
I was
their
there in
live
the
show,
front. The live show.
you
Oh
can't
my
fuck
god.
with this show.
I cried. I
You
literally
can't fuck
cried.
with this show, period.
I was very emotional.
Yeah,
'cause
that
it
show
was-
is awesome.
it was awesome.
If you've never seen it, my goodness.
Well, I met my wife at a De La Soul concert. We were part of.
Oh.
So that was after that De La Soul concert.
Get off that sweet shit. Next question.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
That's how I did it.
We're getting
De
some
La
drink.
Soul.
That sweet
some
shit.
light-skinnedness
Why,
over
De La
here.
Soul, you know?
Okay.
Group-wise De La Soul.
So next question out there in the Q&A, please.
Yeah, I liked your concept of polite persistence.
Right.
And I thought that was cool. How do you know when you're crossing the line and becoming annoyance persistence?
Never.
I mean, actually,
where do you?
the way that my threshold is say no or leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like if someone is still communicating, then it's the door's open. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep going, but I'm gonna be cool about it though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be a dick. So, but the minute that they say no or not right now or those type of words, then you know that's the time to stop. Yeah.
I guess I go to the point of annoying. I guess I
It's the white man.
you figure. Hey, listen, I'll tell you this much. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Whoa.
And I'll
White
take that.
privilege.
I'll tell you right now. I don't.
We like white people too.
Even with a
I'm
no,
gonna go
I
take a
don't
piss.
stop.
You keep talking, white man.
Even with a no, I don't stop. I'm extremely persistent. I
Hey,
think
shout out to
that
Drop. I see you.
You can only say no so many times before I come to something that you're gonna say yes to.
Oh man.
And to me, a no means nothing. Listen. I'm 100% Puerto Rican. We've been there. We've done that. We heard no almost every single part of our
Everybody
lives.
said no to me.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, with a no does not make me stop. If it comes to the point where I'm annoying, I'd rather you come and tell me that than for me to think that I am and stop what I'm doing. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be able to sit here right now and talk about my businesses and what I'm doing and the projects that I have if I would have kept up with those no's, because so many companies that told me no are the ones that are backing me right now. Are the ones that I went through 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I kept it up. And now every single one of them are backing
That's
me.
because you
Now
got grumpy OGs now.
And I'll tell you right now, even with, he's my brother, my biological
Oh, I was gonna say
brother.
that. He's the older brother. He's the little brother. I know. I just want
And
to.
it comes down to, believe it or not, even to where I have to convince my own brother and my own family members to do a show with me. Once again, it's not easy to get every single thing that you want. That annoying thing to me, believe it or not, man, who don't we know that's been annoying at a particular part of their time, and you still fuck with them? Believe it or not, once again, I don't take no. People usually say that all the time. I don't give a shit. You can tell me no 5 times. I'm calling you next week with a better idea. And I promise you, I'm going to get you. I'm going to land you. And that's where my persistence comes in. Once again, it may be sounding as annoying, but to me, it's how you actually get ahead in business.
It's polite persistence.
That's it.
Give him the mic. Give him the mic. Give him the mic. Give him the mic. No. Give him the mic. Give him the
You
mic.
don't need persistence unless you get a no, right?
Right.
Because if you get a yes, then you're not persistent. So everybody that you see, you hear up
You
here
need a
talking
no.
about, hey, I'm persistent. Because of my persistence, I got where I'm at. It's all because they heard no's. Every one of them, everybody heard no's.
Believe me, he said he wanted to come today, and I said no.
He
Right.
did. And I was
And he's here.
fucking
And he's still here.
persistent.
And he's still here.
I said, Ezekiel, can I
you,
come?
Ezekiel.
And he
And
allowed
he
me.
got the mic. So you imagine the persistence.
And we know he looks crazy.
I didn't even give him
That
the
guy has
address.
3 PhDs. I kid you fucking not. This guy is
No,
the
he's a
man.
genius.
Okay?
But he doesn't know the word no.
He doesn't know no. But he can't spell no, but he's super smart.
There you go.
Thanks for the answer, guys. Appreciate it.
But
How we doing on time? Who's my time checker?
yeah,
Sorry,
How we doing on time?
we're still
Do we have more time for questions? Oh, keep going. Anybody else got questions?
Let's keep it
Anybody
no,
else
I don't want to get Brian in trouble.
We got 3 more minutes, y'all. So
And he's back for the podcast.
he's back.
We're back for the
He
podcast.
broke
Another
the
round
seal.
of beers,
He
please.
had to break the seal. Oh, you need another round of beer?
Let's do
Hey,
it.
where's my waiter?
Get your waiter.
He hates
Okay,
you right
fine.
now. He's
Hey, excuse me, waiter.
I told everybody that we told
Brian, can you
Charles
get the
no,
waiter?
he can't come,
My
and he still
waiter
came.
to
Polite
bring
persistence.
over- How many we need? How many we need?
We need 20.
What?
I know you asked me a number. I just threw a number out there. They might be thirsty out there.
Are you trying to feed a whole crew?
1, 2,
Let me get this
Whatever.
Modelo
4.
for the
now you want to be at the table.
Charles,
This ain't the Price is Right. Everyone's like 6, 7, 8. Well, what do you want? You want one?
All right, we have time
got
for
one in
about
your
5
hand.
more questions.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
5. No?
That's a half a day of
Okay,
questions.
3 questions. 3 questions.
Whatever you
I want to hold y'all up. I know y'all got stuff to do.
We good. We gave
Y'all
our day.
coming all the way from West Kid.
We have a question. We have a question here.
We got all the time in the road. 7 more minutes.
The playground is where you spend most of your days.
Right. This is true.
Questions. Next
Yes.
question. Who's got the mic?
I have a mic.
Oh, you got the mic. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
My question is, I see that I understand from your conversation that the value of working with a good team was definitely one of the main ingredients of your success.
Yeah.
And I know the value of working with a team. But now I'm wondering, I see that you all have an amazing mindset. And how did you cultivate this mindset? Did you reach out and like, I don't know, there are like Tony Robbins, or there's plenty of option over there for switching your mindset. I want to know if that was something that you were able to create among yourself, or if there was something that maybe you might want to recommend as far as creating that strong and bonding mindset.
That's a deep question.
I mean,
That's a deep question.
I'm sure
y'all.
everybody has a different answer. I'll say part of that is we motivate each other just by keeping ourselves, like this youthful spirit. I could speak for myself. I wouldn't do what I'm doing if it wasn't these guys weren't still around in my life, whether they're directly involved in what I'm doing or not. Aside from that, I try to read a bunch of things over the years, and I'm always trying to find different things that could inspire me that I'm not getting in my regular life. So like one book that I really love, and I'm not really big on reading books and stuff like that. I'm just really bad at it. I'm better at watching documentaries. But the one book that I really love was and I'm dyslexic, so I might say it wrong. It's Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. And that book helped me immensely in cultivating a certain mindset. And I always have to go back and read because I forget everything because I drink a lot. But that book to me, that's one. And there's plenty of books out there like that. But I think that people should constantly be looking for inspiration and words of wisdom. And doesn't mean that everything that you see or read is gospel.
Right.
But take what works for
Open
you
mind, man.
and utilize it to your best of ability, because some of us are growing up in, whether it's single parents or whatever, depending on the neighborhood, whatever. We don't get all these. We're not exposed to a lot of things. So we need to go out and seek it. And luckily we're in a world now where the World Wide Web, you can find everything. So go out there and find whatever it is that you need to keep, feeding your mind, to keep growing your mind.
And he's 1,000% right. And my other answer would be this, and it's a short and a simple answer. I feel like we're just lucky. We were in the right place at the right time when we all met. We're all still together. We all motivate each other. And who's not to say that 11 heads thinking on a problem versus one is better? You understand? So it's kind of easier when you have 11 thoughts coming in than just you yourself. You're racked already. You don't even have any more thought. I'll get 10 other people to think for me. So we're pretty lucky in that sense. God is good. That's all I have to say. He blessed us a long time ago. So that's just what it is.
We got another question. Okay, all right. Okay, question there.
You guys remind me of the Wu-Tang Clan.
What?
That's RZA.
Yeah.
No, you know what's funny is when we went to the Source magazine. What year was that? The first time we went?
We should.
No. We went to the Source
You don't want to
magazine
be all up in the videos,
mid-90s, right? And it was a bunch of us, at least 7 of us that went
Right.
on that trip to New York. And we're walking through the halls of the Source magazine. They still had the unsigned High. Briggs Morales was there. Carlito was there. And they were like, yo, you guys are like the Spanish Wu-Tang Clan. Like, walking through here.
Yeah,
I was like, we'll take it. Like, whatever.
We'll take it.
Because the
Trey's
thing
like,
about it is
Right, he was Panamanian in that trip, though.
Like,
remember?
what she was saying
You know
is
that.
the mindset. Because if you look, you don't really want to focus on what kind of life they lived. You focus on the fact of how they came together as a unit.
Right.
And the Wu-Tang Clan had that type of
Right.
mindset.
Right.
One of them,
Shaolin.
of course, RZA he had wisdom.
Right.
And the other
brain.
guys had their own entity. They had their own talent. And the way they moved was like water.
Right.
They
Right.
floated. And the way you guys move, I see that. You guys, 30 years together.
Right.
And the Wu-Tang Clan was...
That means we're
together
going to
for
die
that long.
together.
Exactly. Exactly. And to
facts.
have a street of their own. So
Right.
I just want to...
Thank you, man.
We appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
But you know what's funny? He said that, and yes, big up to that. It's awesome. A wise man once told me.
A wise man?
I have to say that this guy is so smart. He's an older dude, rich as hell, owns 100 businesses. He's super wise. He tells me that I was running one of his restaurants and I fired 30 people in a month. And he told me, I know I told you could run my restaurant, but you fired 30 people this month. I said, yeah, they don't know what they're doing. He said, okay, well, it's for like this. That's how I think of us. He does a different part. I do a different part. He does a different part. We all do different parts. But without each other, the whole team can't fight. So he told me it's like a hand. This finger can't do what he does. He can't do what he does. But without all the fingers together, the whole hand can't function properly. So you just have to accept what you got, work with what you got, and make it happen. That's what we've been doing all our lives. Trust me, we have some people that we make fun of every single day. It's my brothers, though, but no one else in this room can make fun of them.
That's why I
know what
say do it with caution.
So it's just
The chemistry. You guys have a
right,
synergy in the
right.
Man,
chemistry.
I thank God for that every day. For my friends. These are, like I said, my brothers now. You know what I'm saying? Right. And, don't worry about that.
Not everything's positive, but you know.
Real
you gotta
quick,
find
that's the other host of Grumpy OGs.
That's my
Eddie,
co-host,
stand up.
Grumpy OGs.
Grumpy.
Eddie's.
That's
Come
He's
on,
5'3",
Grumpy.
so it's gonna be a little hard. Eddie, stand on the chair for
Where's
us.
the Grumpy?
Hey, Grumpy.
Can you stand on the
Come
chair?
on, Grumpy.
I know you're
come up
5'3".
here.
He's actually standing
Come
up
on,
right now.
Grumpy.
ladies and
He's
gentlemen.
actually
Come up
standing
here,
on the chair
Grumpy.
right now.
He's actually standing up.
Put 2
right
chairs
now.
on, please.
Come on, Grumpy.
He's a good guy. He's single too. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, I don't want to tell you his IG because it might change this whole conversation.
Let's say it one time.
All right, and you can catch him at Eddie the Ass Eater. That's his IG. I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Mina, continue, please.
And with that, Mina, what were you saying?
I don't follow him. So you guys know. I don't follow him on IG. So.
I don't follow him either. My wife won't let me.
Orlando's still on MySpace.
Yeah.
And what song do you have on MySpace?
I got
Check,
mad
check.
followers on
What
MySpace.
song is on your MySpace?
You don't want to know.
I got mad followers. On
Call from behind.
All right, question. We have time for another one more question.
Yo, EFN,
Check it.
the ideal country for you
I
to
know
go,
this guy, by the way.
He gave me this shirt. The ideal country for you to actually go and actually do like a homecoming movie or
coming
episode?
home.
Like
Coming
the
home.
ideal country
Same
that
thing.
you would like to go to, and why? I know we talked about this before, but I just want to get it out there.
I mean, I want to go to every country at some point. One of the top countries in my mind has, for some weird reason, has been Mongolia. Like, I want to go to a place that people can't, in the States at least, can't fathom a hip hop culture thriving there, which I know is thriving everywhere. It'd be Mongolia, Tibet, some of these places like that.
Right.
But why? Because of the spiritual idea?
Just because of the idea that we here can't fathom that there's hip hop there.
Right.
And just to show, like, I feel like the films are beneficial more to us than it is to the people that we're visiting over there. Like, they don't need us necessarily. They have their own thing going on. It's to show us here that there's a bigger world. I think sometimes in the States, we've forgotten that we're influencing the world through hip hop. But one thing I've learned is we're losing our influence because they're not looking to us. We're not as cool to them anymore around the world. They're looking to their neighbors. Like in Vietnam, they're looking to Japan, to China, to Korea. In Peru, they're looking to Colombia. They're looking to the other countries in South America. So I just want to go to these crazy countries, crazy to us, not obviously not to them, but that we don't even fathom hip hop, and then it'd be an eye opener, and you just see hip hop thriving in these places. I think it inspires me to find hip hop there and to see how they're doing it, It reminds me of how we started, why we started, and then we come back and I'm just reinvigorated when I come back from any of these countries.
Would you ever turn inwards into the United States?
Yes. I feel like every city has a story. Because when we think of hip hop in the United States, we're thinking of, the birthplace, which is New York, LA, that was popping, the bigger cities. But every city, knowing this, because Miami was not on the map when we started, nobody gave a damn about Miami, but we have our own scene, our own pioneers, our own identity, our own sound. Every city has that.
Yep.
Every city has the first guy that did this, the first guy that did that, the little venue, the skating ring that everybody went and performed at.
Right.
And I think every city has a story. I would love to do that
awesome.
version of Coming Home.
Like different,
Yeah. And the other one I want to do is Coming Home Native America. Because on the reservations there's a big hip hop scene. And the reservations, there's a lot of stuff going on in the reservations between here and Canada, and I think that would be a dope film as well.
That's a good idea.
I had no idea about that genre. So that would be dope.
That's why he's gonna make the movie.
Exactly. That's why y'all
Thanks,
are here
Hector.
to put us to put us out there.
I'm here when you need me.
Yes, to put us out there. So I have a question actually. As far as what? I'm sorry. What? I'm hearing somebody yell.
He's just rude.
Oh, you have one more
Yes,
question?
please.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, we got the drinks. I was waiting for the drink.
We got time for 3 questions now.
We definitely have time.
Everybody good.
So it's interesting to me that you said that
I don't know.
there's a loss of influence.
Sorry.
A couple. Yeah, you bring him.
Sorry?
Okay, he's bringing him.
So I'm really intrigued with your saying that there's a loss of influence. And I'm wondering if you're talking about just in terms of the hip hop community or about America generally, and what is the perception, like if there's one or 3 things that about America that is causing this loss of
Well, I am speaking more specific to hip hop because that's what I'm dealing with, and that's where my expertise is in. But obviously, ever since 9/11, ever since the Iraq War, the Afghanistan War, Americans are not very welcome in a lot of countries. Thankfully, we don't scream America when we're going places until we start talking, obviously. But you could tell that there's people that just they're not welcoming of Americans. But being that we're being led into these countries and they're taking us into the neighborhoods, it's all through hip hop and through the local artists. It's like we're getting that hood pass. And so in terms of the culture and the music, they're just saying, you guys are not doing hip hop culture anymore. It's not an art form for you guys.
Right.
It is a money-making business churned out by a machine, and that's what you guys are doing. Which to me is interesting that they articulate that very well.
Very well.
Being outside of the country, being in some very impoverished neighborhoods where maybe they don't even have internet, and they see that and understand that about us. And I kind of feel the same way, but I'm not influencing what they're telling me. They're telling me that on their own. Like, you guys don't do hip hop anymore, you do business. And that's been very consistent across the board. And I kind of agree to an extent, but there's 2 sides to that again. Like, can we be mad at us in the United States taking something from nothing and making money from it, and how many families and how many people have lifted themselves out of poverty through hip hop. Now, I just think as hip hop and hip hop culture and those in hip hop, we need to make sure that the culture and the art form is not lost while it's making money.
Right.
Right. So let me ask you, as far as from a distribution standpoint, what was your journey as far as getting that out, distribution? Like, you got Drink Champs on Revolt, and then I hear you had like a Roku deal. Like, how did you procure all those deals, and what did you have to do to get that out there to the world?
Well, he's the Roku guy. I don't have no Roku or anything. But I mean, really, it just with Drink Champs was a phenomenon that I call it lightning in a bottle. We came in at a perfect time in podcasting for hip hop,
right,
where it was something very unexpected and needed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lucky enough to know a legend like Nori to bring him on board and for him to be a part of it. And we got a deal with CBS through a friend of ours, this Dominican dude from Kendall, who was a podcast legend in his own. He had a gaming podcast called Gamer Tag Radio. He did like a gaming and hip hop podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
He had been podcasting since internet radio days.
Wow.
And he was always telling me, yo, you guys should podcast.
Speaking of Godfrey.
And
Wow.
so when I finally got Nori on board where he was ready, that same dude, Godfrey, had just got a deal with CBS Radio. And he said, do you want me to make the introduction? I said, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We had another situation on the table. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Combat Jack. And their Loudspeakers Network was a podcast network that was doing their thing at the time. They were interested as well. But Nori, he was like, yo, CBS Radio just sounds so good. It just sounds big. So it wasn't a money thing. It was just, they were just going to distribute.
Culture,
but it was just like CBS Radio. It sounds good. So we did a deal with them. When we signed that deal, I remember telling CBS, like, I already saw the visual side of it.
Right.
We filmed from day one, but we were just putting out audio, the audio podcast. So I told them, yo, I would really love to have a conversation about upstreaming this to your visual properties, to TV. I saw it on TV already. They thought I was way too ahead. They're like, yeah, you're crazy, bro. Like, let's just see if this one thing works, this audio podcast works. And out the gate, it was a hit. A hit. So much of a hit that CBS Radio didn't know how to sell advertising on our show.
It's new.
Because it's brand new, but the listenership was so big that you had to charge a certain rate. So they couldn't go to their advertisers and say, you need to pay 20, 30 grand to put an ad on the show because this is the audience. And they're like, that's a new show. We're not going to pay that much money.
Right.
And it's Drink Champs. They're drinking. They're talking crazy. The Eddie
Okay.
Ass Eater. Like, it's wild. Like, the advertiser, I'm not, Tide is not going to put an ad on there for 30 grand. Like, so it took 6 months before we saw one dime.
Wow.
So me and Nori, we basically financed that 6 months of doing Drink Champs because we believed in it, but more so because the culture accepted it. The culture was loving it. The fans, like we were just like, we were fed by that. That was our revenue.
Right.
And we believed in it so much. And then that became everything because Drink Champs was supposed to be a little side gig.
Right.
Nori was doing his thing. I was doing my thing. We're just going to do Drink Champs on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And it just became everything for us. Where it was, oh, we'll do it for a year or two, and we're in our 6th year of doing Drink Champs right now. Yeah. We were on CBS Radio. We did the first multi-level deal in terms of podcasting that I know of, in hip-hop at least, where we did a deal with Tidal, which is Jay-Z's company.
Yeah.
Mass
sold
Appeal.
it recently, though, right? Is Tidal being sold?
I'm not sure, but we're no longer in that deal. But that was a monumental deal for us. We did Mass Appeal as well, which is Nas's label, his company,
Revolt.
and then Revolt TV, which is Puffy. And we did that deal, and now we're with Revolt, and now we're with Charlemagne the God and iHeartRadio under Black Effect.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, I just want to thank all y'all for your time, and before we end this panel.
Sorry, real quick. I want to shout out iRoster right here.
Oh, hey.
He's Drink Champs production team who was with us in those 6 months when we were making a dime, so he wasn't making a dime.
Hey. And now he's making a lot of money.
He's rich.
Salud. I ain't got no drink, but salud. I before we end this, I definitely want to appreciate all y'all and all your insight, the gems you dropped for everyone here. But I would like to give everyone an opportunity to just plug in whatever it is that you'd like to share for the audience before we leave. Starting from all the way over here.
I don't know if you speak.
Your last words.
I don't say shit.
Yeah, you've been quiet over there. What's going on?
I already. Is this shit on? My bad. I don't speak much. But yeah, thanks for everybody's support. Check out Drink Champs, of course. Crazy Hood Productions. We got a lot of shit in the works. Coming home, the exciting stuff with LL Cool J. You're gonna see a lot of stuff dropping with the Rock the Bells deal. So yeah, to stay tuned. And as personally by myself, Drainflix Photography. Check me out. The website drainflix.com. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank Laverne.
You want that, Mike?
There you go. I didn't mean to take it away from you.
So thanks very much for coming, guys. I mean, your story's absolutely tremendous.
Thank you.
I think our creatives have gained a lot from everything you've had to say. And as we wrap up, to put a cap on things, if you can, in your closing comments, you've got an audience filled with creatives. If you could give them one bit of advice, just one bit of advice that you think perhaps has been the most meaningful to you, can you close with that, please?
Definitely. Well, I do Dream Big Podcast Miami as well as I've been blessed to sit on a lot of sports episodes with Drink Champs, so I'm Drink Champs Sports on that level. But I want to say to all the creatives out there is really just have fun with it. Don't force anything. Be authentic and be genuine. When you think too much, overthink, or force it, it comes out whack. The creators know that it's not real. You go home knowing it's not authentic. You know, everybody around you understand that that's not the real you. Not to put any shade on last night's kickoff, right? I went there last night, right?
Saying that, that's not.
No, what I want to say is that I put on a shirt. I put on a shirt, and I buttoned down the shirt, and I put cologne on, and then I said, "This ain't me." They're not gonna get what we are unless we are authentic. So be you and be happy of who you are and be proud of it.
Thank you.
Good. That was awesome.
I appreciate it.
Because everything else you said was so confusing, but that was awesome.
Yeah, put that on a shirt, Paul.
And that's my dog, and that's Paul. My name is Heckler, aka Hannibal Heckler. Like
Your
you
name
said,
is way cooler than Paul.
Thank you. And I got a podcast now called Grumpy OGs with the little 5'3" guy back there. His name is Eddie, aka Eddie Asseter. Just disregard that. Eddie Gigs, because he's in the business. That podcast was solely started because how we are right here, this is how we've always been. We have clowned each other for 30 years. This is nothing personal. This is how we get through life. We laugh about it, and we laugh a lot, and we laugh hard. Trust me. So my podcast is not, yeah, we talk about current events and whatnot, but if you want the news, you can Google it. I don't do the news. I'm there just to try to make you laugh. We talk to my boys, and we have a conversation, and we're inviting you in. And that's pretty much what the podcast is about. And trust me, it's hilarious. We touch on a lot of views, but it's not, we're not politically correct. We're not, we're just being who we are now on that show. Grumpy OGs. You can follow us there. Grumpy OGs on IG. I'm Heckler OG, and that's Eddie Gigs. If you definitely want to get at us. And my only piece of advice would be, something I always live by. I don't care what business it is. This works for every single business. I make money and not excuses. That's the biggest thing in the world. Because anytime you ask somebody to do something, they come with a different answer. It's just an excuse. It's always a reason for something. Make money, not excuses. That's all I need to tell you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
I think my mic works.
Testing. Yeah. Thanks.
I would say for last words of advice would be don't go out there trying to seek relevancy. I've been saying this actually recently, like you're here, you're living, you're breathing, you're relevant. Just be you, be authentic. You're authentic yourself. There's always gonna be haters. There's always gonna be someone that doesn't believe in you. Just believe in your vision but see it through. Give yourself time to see these visions through, because oftentimes it's easy to just give up after a little bit of effort and you're done. And give yourself timelines. Give yourself, I'm gonna give myself 6 months to do this specific task and project, and believe in yourself and just be your authentic self all the way. And that to me goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? And don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be stuck in something. Be like, don't allow yourself to be stubborn, but give yourself time to see something all the way through.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Again, my name is Orlando. I represent the Red Eye District. You can find us on Roku TV through SM1 and Universal.
And Playboy late at night.
That's
Electric Blue.
It's HBO Max. Our podcasts are mainly cannabis-friendly podcasts. We take a different approach to it, where we show the actual
stuff,
just the fun times of it, not the BS of it. All right, this is real. Been able to put together the Grumpy OGs, Splits and Giggles. We have a new show coming out called White in the Middle of Shanghai, which is being filmed in China right now, showing the other side of it, where we're on their territory, not them on this side of it. We're also coming out with a bunch of different new shows.
And the cooking one.
We also have a show called Cooking with Kelsey Monroe, which we sold to Toolbox TV. To me, it's my only word of advice is reach out to any one of us, man. Like, not for nothing, but we're actually mad cool. If you guys need help with something, we've never had that opportunity. We didn't have people walk up and say, hey, if you ever need anything, you need to be put on something, you need some help with anything, some advice, we're here, man. We're actually regular people. And I'm personally always looking for new shows, new ideas. I want to help anybody that I possibly can, because I had an opportunity to grow up with a dope-ass team. And every single thing that we've gotten to this point in the last 6-7 months that I've been doing this, putting myself out there for the podcast world, I was able to land deals and make even bigger ones. So to me, it's don't stop. Like I told you before, no is not an answer. No to me is BS. Whoever hands you a no is because they haven't heard the best thing from you yet. Keep it moving, keep it hustling, because none of us here would be talking to you guys if we took every no and just let it hit us. Too many people are just stopping what they're doing because the person next to them doesn't like it.
Good for you, dog. I love the way that sounds. Go.
Keep it moving, man. Keep it moving. If you need anything, like I said, I'm here to help. For real. Reach out to me. I'll definitely help y'all.
Go ahead. All right. Keep going. Go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all were amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with that said, we would like to, on behalf of the Miami Web Fest board, we would like to present a special award for DJ EFN.
Yeah.
For being our
The
special
sexiest
guest.
man of the year.
Yes, the GQ sexiest man of the year. Cuban sexiest man. Yes, for being a breakthrough visionary in this industry and all that. So we'd like to present you
You stand up?
All right, I'll take that back down, of course. Okay,
That's for the next recipient.
That's for the next.
That's for the next recipient.
Thank you for the beer. I appreciate it. This is a great honor for me. Thank you very much.
Yes, no, and the Sincoro, we're not no sponsorship.
No, but thank you, Brian. Thank you, Laverne. Thank you, Nina, and everybody at Miami Web Fest for allowing us to do this.
And we'll to their discretion, feel free to take some pictures
Absolutely.
or talk to
No,
them
absolutely.
at
That's
the
what we're
step and
here for,
repeat. They're very open, and as you see, very
Hit
chill
us
guys.
on our
They-
socials, man. We don't care.
Drop your wait, drop your social handles. You gotta drop your social handles.
Oh, I did.
Okay, you did it. All right.
Heckler OG.
Okay.
Francisco.com.
Hey, I'm at Dream Chance Sports and on Dream Big Podcast Miami.
All right.
Dream Flicks.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you
all
to
for
our
coming out. We really
moderator. Thank you
appreciate
to our wonderful moderator, Nina.
Thank you.